देवाय ॐ भगवते वासुदेवाय। नारायणं नमस्कृत्य नरं चैव नरोत्तमं देवीं सरस्वतीं व्यासं ततो जयमुदीरयेत्। नष्टप्रायेषु अभद्रेषु नित्यं भागवत सेवया उत्तमश्लोके भक्तिर्भवति। रिकॉर्डिंग प्ले कर।
तं प्रीयमाणं समुपस्थितं कविं प्रजा विसर्गे निजशासन अर्हणं बभाषयिषेत् स्मितचोषिता गिरा प्रियः प्रियं प्रीतं मनः करे स्पृशन्। श्री भगवान उवाच त्वया अहं तोषिताः सम्यक् वेद्गर्भसिश्रुक्षया चिरं भूतेन तपसा दोतोषकुटयोगिनां वरं वरय भद्रं ते वरेशं मा अभिवाञ्छितं बृहच्छ्रेयः परिश्रामः पुंसां मद्दर्शनावधिः। तं प्रीयमाणं समुपस्थितं कविं प्रजा विसर्गे निजशासन अर्हणं बभाषयिषेत् स्मितशोचिषा गिरा प्रियः प्रियं प्रीतं मनाः करे स्पृशन्। श्री भगवान् उवाच त्वया अहं तोषिताः सम्यक् वेद्गर्भसिश्रुक्षया चिरं भ्रूतेन तपसाः दुस्तोषकुटयोगिनां वरं वरय भद्रं ते वरेशं मा अभिवाञ्छितं ब्रह्मश्रेयः परिश्रामः पुंसां मद्दर्शनावधिः। हरे कृष्ण।
So we are reading shlokas 2.9.19 to 21 today. So I'll be repeating, reading, and devotees can please repeat after me. Tam priyamanam. Tam priyamanam.
तं प्रीयमाणं
samupasthitam kavim praja visarge
प्रीयमाणं समुपस्थितं कविं
nijashasana arhanam
प्रजा विसर्गते निजशासनार्हणम्
babhasha ishatsmi smita shoshisha babhasha
अभाषयिष्यशोचिषा
gira priya priyam priyatamnah gira priya
गिरा प्रियं
priyatamnah
प्रियतमाना
करे स्पृशन श्री भगवान
करे
उवाच
स्पृशन्।
श्री भगवान
श्रीभगवान् उवाच
त्वयाहं तोषितः सम्यक् त्वयाहं
त्वयाहं तोषितः सम्यक्
वेदगर्भस्य शुक्षया वेदगर्भचिरं
वेदगर्भसिस्रुक्षया
भूतेन तपसा चिरं
चिरं
भूतेन
भूतेन तपसा
तपसा
दूतोषकुटयोगिना
वरं वरय भद्रं ते वरं वरय भद्रं ते वरेशं माभिवाञ्छितं वरेश
वरं भद्रं ते
ब्रह्मश्रेयः
वरेशमावविभाक्षितम्
ब्रह्मश्रेयः परिश्रामः
बृहत्श्रेय परिश्रामः
पुंसां मदर्शनावधिः
पुंसां मत् दर्शनावधि। हरे कृष्ण।
Hare Krishna. Translation. And seeing Brahma present before him, the Lord accepted him as worthy to create living beings, to be controlled as he desired, and thus being satisfied with him, the Lord shook hands with Brahma and slightly smiling addressed him thus. The beautiful personality of Godhead addressed Lord Brahma. O Brahma, impregnated with the Vedas, I am very much pleased with you, your long accumulated penance with desire for creation. Hardly am I pleased with the pseudo mystics. I wish you good luck, O Brahma. You may ask from me, the giver of all benediction, all that you may desire. You may know that the ultimate benediction, as the result of all penances, is to see me by realization. Purport. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. The creation of the material world is not blind or accidental. The living entities who are ever conditioned or nitya baddha are thus given a chance for liberation under the guidance of his own representative like Brahma. The Lord instructs Brahma in Vedic knowledge in order to diffuse this knowledge to the conditioned souls. The conditioned souls are forgetful souls in their relationship with the Lord, and thus a period of creation and the process of dissemination of Vedic knowledge are necessary activities of the Lord. Lord Brahma has a great responsibility in delivering the conditioned souls, and therefore he is very dear to the Lord. Brahma also does his duty very perfectly, not only by generating the living entities, but also by spreading his party for reclaiming the souls. The party is called the Brahma Sampradaya, and any member of this party to date is naturally engaged in reclaiming the fallen souls back to Godhead, back home. The Lord is very much anxious to get back his parts and parcels, as stated in Bhagavad Gita. No one is more dear than the one who takes the task of reclaiming the fallen souls back to God. There are many renegades from the Brahma Sampradaya whose only business is to make men more forgetful of the Lord and thus entangle them more and more in material existence. Such persons are never dear to the Lord, and the Lord sends them deeper into the darkest of region of so that such envious demons may not be able to know the Supreme Lord. Anyone, however, preaching the mission of Lord in the line of Brahma Sampradaya is always dear to the Lord. And the Lord, being satisfied with such a preacher of the authorized bhakti cult, shakes hand with him in great satisfaction. There are two kinds of penance, one for the sense gratification and other for self-realization. There are many pseudo mystics who undergo severe penances for their own satisfaction, and there are others who undergo severe penances for the satisfaction of the senses of the Lord. For example, the penances undertaken to discover nuclear weapons will never satisfy the Lord because such a penance is never satisfactory. By nature's own way, everyone has to meet death, and if such a process of death is accelerated by anyone's penances, there is no satisfaction for the Lord. The Lord wants everyone of his parts and parcels to attain eternal bliss and eternal life and bliss by coming home to Godhead, and the whole material creation is meant for that objective. Brahma underwent severe penances for that purpose, namely to regulate the process of creation so that Lord might be satisfied. Therefore, the Lord was very much pleased with him, and for this, Brahma was impregnated with Vedic knowledge. The ultimate purpose of Vedic knowledge is to know Lord and not to misuse the knowledge for any other purpose. Those who do not utilize Vedic knowledge for that purpose are known as Kuta yogis or pseudo transcendentalists who spoil their lives with ulterior motive. The ultimate realization of the supreme truth is knowing and seeing face to face the personality of Godhead, realization of the impersonal Brahman, and localized Paramatma features of the personality of Godhead is not ultimate realization. When one realizes the Supreme Lord, one does not struggle hard to perform such penances. The next stage of life is to discharge devotional service to the Lord just to satisfy Him. In other words, one who has realized and seen the Supreme Lord has attained all perfection because everything is included in the highest perfectional stage. The impersonalists and the pseudo mystics, however, cannot reach this state. Hare Krishna. Om Ajnanatimirandasya Jnananjana चक्षुरुन्मिलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः श्रीचैतन्यमनोभीष्टं स्थापितं येन भूतले स्वयं रूपा कदा मह्यं ददाति स्वपदान्तिकं वन्देऽहं श्रीगुरो श्रीयुतापदकमलं श्रीगुरुन् वैष्णवांश्च श्रीरूपां साग्रजातं सहगना रघुनाथान्वितां तं सजीवम् साद्वैतं सावधूतं परिजनसहितं कृष्णचैतन्यदेवं श्रीराधा कृष्णपादान् सगनललिता श्रीविशाखान्वितांश्च नमो विष्णुपादाय कृष्णपृष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्ति वेदांत स्वामिनिति नाम नमस्ते सरस्वती देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाश्चात्य देशतारिणे जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्त वृंदा हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 कृष्णा हरे कृष्णा. This is a very sweet poet. So for some little time that we have, I would like to speak my understanding, express my understanding of these purports. Here we have seen that there was a time where Lord didn't where he is, what is the purpose of his life, why he, like who is around, is there uh, who am I, is there anyone who is like me? So many questions. He was absolutely bewildered. Lord Brahma was absolutely bewildered, didn't know what to do. And then he was like searching, passing through the stem of the lotus flower connected to the navi of Lord Shai Vishnu, to and fro, back and forth. Couldn't understand anything until he just relaxed and he could hear the words of Lord in his heart. So, tapa. And after understanding that this is what I am supposed to do, that is the purpose, that is what is the next thing ahead for me. He did it absolutely perfectly. And this is something which made a lot so pleased with him that he could get that opportunity to, like what has been mentioned, to shake hands with the Lord. Lord knew that this is a perfect person who is going to do the job of creation. He'll do it. That faith Lord had. And with that faith, with the blessings of Lord being pleased by Lord Brahma's tapasya, Lord Brahma received the powers to uh, create this world, create this entire srishti, which we are a very, very tiny speck. Like we can imagine we do even small things and we expect small things we may make, maybe a like sweet we are cooking in Maharashtra, making and if it comes out to be really good and you feel wow, see everyone should praise me, everyone should like and say wow we have made very beautiful food and like that we may think maybe some other item in the southern part of India. So I mean we just expect that people should praise me for what I have created. And see the task of Lord Brahma. He is absolutely at this till this point of time no one else whom to speak to. Yeah, doesn't know what to do. But then just he got that instruction in the heart, yeah? And he started he followed it, sincerely followed, considering that it is the aim, the purpose of his life. And then thereafter, the further instructions were revealed. So this is the only way that we can please the Guru Parampara. Now that we are in Brahma Ji's Parampara, Brahma Madhava Gaudiya Sampradaya. So we also have been given that opportunity. Like Lord Brahma, after pleasing the Lord gave the understanding of all the Vedas to Lord Brahma so that he can pass it on to the creation, yeah, to to all of us, yes. And now being a part of the Brahma Madhva Gaudiya Sampradaya, we have got an opportunity by the grace of Swami Srila Prabhupada to be able to give this opportunity of understanding what is the highest perfection of life. Highest perfection of life for some individuals might be only getting maximum money, lot of sense gratification, and that is where the entire world is revolving around. And we see everything, whether it is home, family affairs, or outside office, everywhere we have seen this. This is how the world runs. Hmm? Whether maybe government officials or even otherwise, everyone wants more. दिल मांगे more और चाहिए और पैसा चाहिए और I want to so many facilities in my house. I mean, I just want to live absolutely comfortably, all senses satisfied. This is what we need. It may happen, or at times things actually turn 360 degrees. And we never know. Within seconds, things may turn absolutely 360 degrees. We may feel we were about to be the happiest people on the earth with all the facilities, all luxuries, everything. But then within seconds, there's a storm. Within seconds, there's a leopard which is there all around. And within seconds, there are so many tragedies which might happen. Some railway accident or some air crash, and everything is gone. Everything is gone. Whatever we have tried to achieve. So in this world, until the point of time when we just think about our own sense gratification, we may be failing. But the best thing that Lord is saying, that the perfection of this our life is to be able to realize the presence of Lord, not only at the level of Brahman or Paramatma, but as Bhagwan. Yeah, we are all very much aware that Brahman Gyanis would like to have the understanding of Brahman. The yogis would like to have the understanding of Paramatma in the heart. And it is the Bhakti yogis who will go further and try to see the presence of Lord, acknowledge the presence of the supreme intelligence, who is, I mean, not only, I mean, the person responsible for this entire creation, but also driving us through our uh, inner, as a presence of Paramatma, is guiding us throughout our lives after lives. Yeah. So even if we tend to do our daily routine activities, our office work, or even just considering that if we are some biology student or medical student or engineering student or mathematics students, if we try to go into the depths of these sciences, whatever it may be, we will understand a person who truly understands these subjects would realize that there is a supreme intelligence behind everything. There is a supreme intelligence who has put the human form exactly as it is, who has created the anatomy so perfect in each and every living being for centuries to come and even in future. What a perfect creation! I mean, supreme creation. You can't even uh, think that there has to be a brain, there has to be intelligence, there has to be a supreme person behind it. It's not that somewhere it will come from some light. Oh, no, it doesn't. It doesn't. So, even if we try to study the material science perfectly, we understand that supreme intelligence, that supreme person. And here, this is what Lord is stating to Lord Brahma. The highest perfection of life is understanding the supreme person. And by Krishna's grace, we have got this opportunity by the extreme sacrifice that His Divine Grace Srila Prabhupada has done for all of us, and how we can please our acharyas and Srila Prabhupada is by taking the same message to everyone whom we can possibly give that message, whichever form, whether it be a kind donation, whether it be donation of books, whether it be distribution of books, whether it be organizing prasadam, kirtan, and intellectual way, whichever way, it is our responsibility that whatever the best that we have received now in this lifetime, understanding the basic understanding that life is meant for the pleasure of Lord. Life is meant for the realization of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Let us take that effort. There are many, many other shlokas, parallels, which I was recently reading in chapter 3 in Bhagavad Gita. The same purport, like everywhere, Lord is trying to tell Arjuna that whatever work you're doing, a karma kandi will do it for sense gratification, but you have to become a karma yogi, a nishkam karma yogi. The work, your activities, you'll be doing absolutely perfectly for my pleasure without any desire of any fruitive result. So this is what we can even see through these purports that we read right now, and this is what comes to my mind after one whatever I have heard in the recent days. So can you forgive me for not having prepared thoroughly, but I'll try my level best hereafter. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much, Gaurvangi Shakti Mataji, for a wonderful summarization of this topic, where you have made us aware about the Lord's satisfaction, about true penance, about true preaching, and the ultimate benediction. As mentioned, here we find a most intimate interaction between the Supreme Personality of Godhead and Lord Brahma, who is the first created being in this universe. So Brahmaji completed his penance of 1,000 celestial years, and then he got the opportunity of the divine vision, wherein he could see the Lord, the Lord's abode, and all the paraphernalia. And he finally received the direct audience with the Lord, who now speaks to him with affection and satisfaction. Through this conversation, what we find in these three shlokas are three great spiritual principles. The first being the supreme value of preaching, the Lord's mission for reclaiming the conditioned souls. The second, the real nature of penance that pleases the Lord. And thirdly, the highest reward for all penances, the direct realization of the Supreme Lord. Here, what we are seeing is Brahma's divine appointment with the Lord's handshake in today's considerations. So when Brahmaji stood before the Lord after his long penance, the Lord extended his hand. He shook hands with him, and this seemingly simple gesture is deeply symbolic because it signifies the Lord's full satisfaction with Brahma's sincerity and obedience. The Lord accepted Brahma as the chief engineer of the universe, empowered to create various planetary systems and species of life. Yet, this was not a material empowerment, it was sacred commission to assist the Lord in giving conditioned souls a chance for liberation. So, creation is not mechanical or accidental, Big Bang. The Lord creates the world through Brahma for the purpose of reclaiming the fallen souls back to Godhead. So Brahmaji has got twofold duties. Prabhupada explains there are two aspects to his service. One, to generate living entities and arrange the material world, and two, to spread spiritual knowledge, the Vedic wisdom for the deliverance of those souls. So Brahmaji is not only a creator but also a preacher. It is he who has established the Brahma Sampradaya, the disciplic succession that continues even today through pure devotees who preach the same message back to Godhead, back home. We ourselves come from the Brahma Madhva Gaudiya Sampradaya, in which we have had the opportunity of Lord's incarnation again as Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. That is why he becomes the Lord's dearest son. In Bhagavad Gita, Krishna says in the 18th chapter, 68 and 69 shloka, that one who explains this supreme secret to my devotees is most dear to me. And there is no servant in this world more dear to me, nor will there ever be one more dear. So those who preach the message of the Lord in authentic parampara become most dear to him, more than even great mystics or ritualists. But in Kali Yuga, we do come across the renegades and the false teachers. However, Prabhupada wants that there are also renegades from the Brahma Sampradaya, those who misuse spiritual teachings to make people forget the Lord even more. So such characters may at times appear as spiritual leaders, philosophers, mystics, but their goal is material prestige or control over others. The Lord is never pleased with such false teachers. So as Bhagavatam says, he allows them to descend deeper into the darkness of material illusion because they mislead others away from him. But to sincere preacher of bhakti, the one who truly carries the message of surrender and devotion, the Lord personally offers his hand of friendship. So true penance is for the Lord's pleasure, not for power. That is why Lord tells Brahmaji that I am very pleased with your long accumulated penance for creation, which you performed only to satisfy me. Hardly am I pleased with pseudo-mistakes. So what this means is that there can be two types of penances. One for self-gratification, performed with material motives such as fame, power, discovery, like what Hiranyakashipu did. Or two for self-realization, performed for the satisfaction of the Supreme Lord. So Prabhupada Ji gives us an example as well. The scientists who undergo severe effort to invent nuclear weapons are also performing penance. But such penance never pleases the Lord because it brings destruction and fear, not liberation or enlightenment. By contrast, Brahmaji's penance was for Lord's service, to organize creation in such a way that souls could progress towards perfection. Therefore, the Lord was fully pleased with it. So the real purpose of Vedic knowledge is impregnated by the Lord in Brahmaji as a reward for his sincere austerity. This knowledge was not meant for material manipulation or speculation. It was meant to guide the souls back to spiritual consciousness. The true purpose of all Vedic wisdom is mentioned by Krishna himself. Vedescha sarver ahameva vedya. That is, to know and love the Supreme Personality of God. And anyone who misuses that knowledge for material gain is Kuta Yogi, a pseudo-transcendentalist who spoils his own life and the lives of others. And that is why we'll see that Krishna gives the ultimate benediction to Brahmaji. And that ultimate benediction is seeing the Lord face to face. Brahma, Krishna says, you may be blessed. Ask from me any benediction you desire. But know that the ultimate benediction as the result of all penances is to see me by realization. So the goal of all penances, the highest perfection of austerities, spiritual practices, is not power, not liberation, not even mystical achievements. It is personal realization of the Supreme Lord. When one actually realizes the Lord face to face, there is no further need for struggle. One becomes fully satisfied in loving service for everything. Knowledge, renunciation, bliss, everything gets included in that state. So, what we need to do is we need to take up to devotion, which is the heart of all young cats. In Bhagavad Gita, Krishna says in 17th chapter, 24th and 25th shloka, that all sacrifices, charities, austerities, they should begin the chanting of Om Tat Sat, performed not for personal benefit, but to reach the Supreme. Even in Chaitanya Charitamrita Madhya Leela, 60th shloka of 8th chapter, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu quotes the Lord's instructions to Ramananda Rai. Whatever you do, whatever you eat, whatever you offer, give away, do it as an offering unto me. Man manava mad bhakto madhyaji mam namaskar. So the real penance means to dedicate one's energy, wealth, intelligence to Lord's service without attachment to result. And this attitude purifies everyone. Whether one is preacher, worker, king, if goal is to please Krishna, the activity becomes transcendental. The Lord's joy is his servant's success. So sincere soul following Brahma Sampradaya engages in reclaiming others and performing selfless penance for Lord's pleasure. And the Lord becomes personally pleased. He not only empowers such servant, but also becomes emotionally connected, as seen in this particular episode. So Srila Prabhupada, being a representative of the same Brahma Sampradaya, exhibits the same spirit. He traveled the world to deliver fallen souls, taken great risks, and tolerating all hardships. Just like Brahmaji, he too received the Lord's full satisfaction, for there is no one more dear to Krishna than one who preaches his message. So, this is the threefold lesson that we get from these particular shlokas, that true preachers in Brahma Sampradaya are dearest to Lord. Secondly, the Lord is pleased only by penance performed for his satisfaction, not by pseudo austerities. And thirdly, the goal of all penances and devotion is to see the Supreme Lord face to face. So through Brahma's example, as Mataji has said, we understand that path of perfection is not through speculation or material endeavor, but through the ODS, that is obedience, devotion, and service to the Lord's mission. To those who dedicate their lives to spreading the message of Godhead, performing penance to please him, seeking only his satisfaction, become eternally dear to the Lord. So thank you very much to everyone. Please remember this. The Lord is not conquered by austerity, nor by knowledge, nor by yoga. He is conquered only by loving service. True penance is to please him. True preaching is to glorify him. True perfection is to see him face to face. Thank you very much. Hare Krishna.